I just completed my third season of comp and I'm sad to say it's been my worst season yet. I'm gonna go over what went wrong and what I'm changing for next season so this doesn't happen again. Starting with my stats, I went from about 6k to 9k PR. Depending on your skill level, this may sound decent, but for me this was terrible. I went up 4k PR last season, which means I placed worse this season, which should never be the case. And if you look at my placements this season, you'll realize I've been in challengers the entire time. Just like last season, I spent the entirety of it being unable to qualify at challengers, not only missing out on elite cups and potential finals experience, but also FNCS. If you're wondering how this happened, I'll give a short recap of how this season of duos went. In the placement cup, we landed the 3 houses under Slappy. We would get out late from fighting a team that was stalling for super long or scavenging for loot, since teams like to steal half our loot and it would be hard to key them without Slappy looking the third party. This caused us to be down on Surge a few games and die because of it. In the end games we played, we would be on backside zone for too long and would get dropped down by hammers, causing us to get split, wasting a lot of mats or die. After not doing too well in the placement cup, we were able to figure out our off spawn and made all our end games, but found ourselves dying around 15th place a lot. This was obviously terrible, missing out on a bunch of placement points, so we decided we wanted hammers and chose to land Breakwater Bay. Things did not go too well for us first time landing there, to say the least. The issue wasn't the initial fight off spawn, it was the third parties. If we pulled zone, there was a 90% chance we were getting keyed and the fights would drag out, leaving us with bad loot going into endgame. After 2 more tournaments there, going into endgame with bad loot and no guarantee of hammers, we decided we're better off just going our old spot where we made every endgame. We understood that endgame rotates better than before now that we played scrims, and we're confident that if we made every endgame we could qual. In our first tournament back at our old spot, we got 53rd place, only 11 points off qual. This tournament hurt because in our last game we got 3 separate refreshes endgame and had a double hammer, and I decided to do this.
Connecting us to this team in case they hammer. Box, dead. Crack. Dead.
Yeah, sick. Nice up, nice up.
Yeah, need a heal, need a heal.
Yeah. Behind us, just done.
Alright. Nice, stay up, don't push it. I have something nice stuff.
Stop.
We had so many mats and all we had to do was play them out to qual. Unfortunately, this follows the same story as last season where we had a really close placement and figure out how we need to play but just fall short every time. After a repeat performance from last season, seeing Leaf pop off in solos and having multiple solo clutches from first moving all the way to top 5, I knew that he could do a lot better if he found someone his level to duel with. I had no problem with Leaf finding a new duel because I never expected to duel with him in the first place. When we first started playing, he was earning his set lobby solo cash cups and I had never played comp before. He was able to find a new duel, which means for the first time I'll be playing with someone my skill level or a bit worse. While my placements could be worse, I believe that this will help me get a lot better at the game. There's a lot of things I've never done because I've always relied on Leaf for it. Now that we're no longer playing, I'm forced to develop these skills and grow as a player. I'll be IGLing next season and that'll definitely help me get a better understanding of the game because I have to pay more attention to everything that's going on and make decisions and not just follow Leaf.
You splash medic?
I'm so pissed.
Hold on, I got you.
Hear me out.
What was I supposed to be hearing out?
In solos, there's not much to talk about. I didn't practice or VOD any solos, I just readied up and will hope for a good performance, which to nobody's surprise didn't happen. I'm not disappointed that I didn't qual for a single one, even though it's extremely embarrassing. I'm more disappointed by the fact that I didn't put any effort into solos. This will change with next season because I want to be able to perform without the help of a duo and show my individual skill. Especially since my duo placements will likely be dropping since it's my first season IGLing with a new duo. I want to have some placements to show for my improvement and progress as a player. Moving on to aim, mechanics, fighting, and game sense, I feel like I haven't improved significantly in any of those categories. I've definitely improved just by playing the game over the course of the season, but it's only been enough to keep me at an average level if that makes sense. I haven't worked hard enough to improve any of these skills to reach a higher level, just enough to stay average. My aim has gotten a lot better and isn't my weakest point anymore, but still isn't great. I hit majority of the shots I need to hit, but still have times where I miss shots I shouldn't be missing. I also miss a lot of shots that don't necessarily mean life or death, but can make me miss out on big refresh opportunities. Being able to hit heavy shots help create opportunities, and I'm rarely able to do that. Everyone at the pro level has good reliable aim, and mine is far from that. It seems like I've got to a point where I see my aim is bad every season, and I'm gonna work on it a lot, and I always end up just doing what seems like minimal effort, kovaxing for an hour or so, playing some aim duels and headshot map. I feel like me saying it's something I'll work on a lot holds little value now, and I just need to do it and show you guys instead of just saying it. For mechanics similar to aim, I don't feel like much has improved. I've done the work required of me to stay on track with the average player, but I've done nothing special to show improvement that stands out. In the last week, I turned edit on release back on. If you're wondering why I switched back, it's not because I think edit on release is better, but I've been getting busier over the past months and want to spend less time bringing my edit speed and mechanics up by just turning it on. I wasn't slow or bad with it, I just don't want to spend that much time working on my mechanics when that time could be better used VOD reviewing or aim training. One thing I'm looking to improve right now with my mechanics is crosshair placement. I'm not consistent hitting all my edits and sometimes miss important edits that could cost me an opportunity to piece someone or a kill. Out of aim, mechanics, fighting, and game sense, I feel like I'm the worst at fighting. Last season in duels, I took too many dumb angles, allowing teams to do a lot of damage or kill me. This season, I got better at playing good angles, but after getting lots of damage, I'll play too aggressive and try to end the fight quick and end up taking lots of damage or dying. I think my fighting in solos is better than duos since I only have to track one player, but I still have very little confidence to W key. The times where I do fight, it's usually because I'm getting keyed and have no other option but to fight. Sometimes I'll just roll the kids keying me, which makes me think I should key more, but I don't have the confidence to do so all the time. The main reason I'm not confident is because I fumble my binds while fighting sometimes. I'm not a new binds or anything, but when fighting, I'll find myself not being able to do what I'm thinking because I'm accidentally pressing the wrong key. Another thing that's bad is my crosshair placement. I mentioned it before, but it makes me miss out on kills and opportunities to get damage on opponents, but it also causes me to take damage because I'm not resetting builds or hitting edits when I need to escape a situation. The last thing is my movement. I feel like my movement is terrible and I can't hide behind peeks well. One peek I find kinda difficult is when I have to slide a cone is strafe left because my cone is on Q, which I hit with my ring finger, but also move left with my ring finger. I don't know how much of a difference this actually makes, but my movement is obviously something that needs to be improved. Last we have game sense, which I also think has no significant improvement, just like my aim and mechanics. I've obviously learned and understand more than I did last season, but there's very little I learned by choosing not to VOD review solos and just following Leaf in duos. I think what will improve the most next season is my game sense. When IGLing, I'll be forced to learn from my mistakes and learn quicker, and will just be studying the game more in general. My goals for next season are to become a way better fighter, put full effort into solos, and see significant improvement in my aim. I'll be coming back to this at the end of next season to see if I'm able to get these done. I want to thank you guys for helping me become a YouTube partner, and I'm excited to post a lot more videos in this next season. I'll also be streaming every day of next season, so if you want to watch me live, be sure to follow me there. It's the first link in the description. Also, use code HOWL if you plan on getting the battle pass or any skins next season. It helps out a lot. Once again, I appreciate all the support you guys have given me, and I hope to have a good next season. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.